All right, we're back with some NBA action on this football Sunday. We got some NBA Sunday, though. We got a couple games on the board. Recap from yesterday. We were 0-2. We lost with New Orleans against Golden State getting the points. Warriors, they're just fantastic. They're going to be so tough this year. New Orleans hung with them for a while, but just couldn't continue to do so. And Alvin Gentry, I don't know if he's the right fit for the Pelicans. Still too early to see. We'll just have to wait and see how that situation develops with him as their head coach. And then the other play we had under the total between Memphis and Brooklyn, 191.5. It ended up at 192. So I know the line ended up at 192.5 at most places. So hopefully you got that at the 192.5, and then you won by the skin of your teeth. Or maybe you got a push. I had them at 191.5, so it's a loss for me. Still, overall, we're up on the year. Let's get to today's game. This line play right here, Milwaukee versus Toronto. Milwaukee getting the points. I like the matchups here. Let's talk about these two teams. Offensively so far, Milwaukee, they're averaging 105 points per game, 42.9% shooting from the field, and 38.1% shooting from beyond the arc. They got some weapons in Giannis and Greg Monroe. I think Michael Carter-Williams is playing better than I would expect. I've never been really high on him, but maybe Jason Kidd, being a former point guard, has kind of molded him to be a better player. And I think offensively they're going to be just fine. Defensively, though, they have not been great. Milwaukee, they're allowing 120 points per game, 47.8% shooting from the field, and 47.7% shooting from beyond the arc. Those percentages are way too high. They allowed too many points against the Knicks and then the Wizards, and they're going to need to ratchet things up on the defensive end if they're going to compete. I think Jason Kidd's going to circle the wagons tonight. I think they're going to play good against Toronto. I don't know if they're going to beat them, but I think they stay within the number. The Raptors, always good offensively. They have, they got weapons. DeRozan, Lowry, just a good overall offense. I saw them play against the Celtics the other night. I thought they looked pretty good offensively. They hit some tough shots there in the fourth quarter. Overall in the year, they're averaging 109.5 points per game, 44.4% shooting from the field, and 40.9% shooting from beyond the arc. So they're making shots. Milwaukee's going to have to defend the perimeter, which I think they will, in order to stop Toronto, a team that's going to try and run a little bit up-tempo. Milwaukee's going to have to get some stops. I think they do. I think they're going to play some pretty decent defense tonight against a good Toronto team. They have the athletes to do it. They just got to get better rotations. They got to help the help, and they got to get out and get a hand in guys' face. They got to defend those driving lanes as well. So help in the driving lanes. I think they do that tonight. I think there's a lot of stuff they're going to have to do on the defensive end. And I think Jason Kidd's going to look at a lot of video. I think the team's going to look at a lot of video of what they've given up against the Knicks and the Wizards. I think they're going to focus in tonight, do a better job. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think they stay within the number. Defensively, Toronto, not really their forte. So far this year, though, so-so. They're allowing 101 points per game, 37.4% shooting from the field, and 32.7% shooting from beyond the arc. Now, those numbers are pretty good, but again, it was against Indiana, who I think is not very deep, and against the Celtics, again, one of the more middle-tiered sort of teams. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up tonight against a Milwaukee team who I think has better athletes than both those teams, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a good matchup. I like for Milwaukee here to stay within the number 7. I think that's a little bit too much. I think they definitely have the players to score with Toronto if they have to, but I think they're going to be focusing on defense. So should be a good game, and I'm going to take the Bucks plus the points, and I wish you guys luck on your plays today.